Hi, welcome to Creative Glamour. I'm Cecilia. Have you seen our new alcohol activated paint palette? Do you know how it works? What is the benefits of using alcohol activated paint palettes? Let me show you how we can use it covering up a tattoo. So to be able to activate your palette, you need to use an activator or 99% alcohol. If you take your activator, you can spritz this into your alcohol palette. If you're only planning on using a specific color, then that's fine. But then you can dip your brush into that coloring. Ours is very pigmented. You can use the inside of your lid of your palette, or you can have a different palette if you want to, and you can apply some color there and thin it out a lot more with your activator. This is great to actually test it on yourself before you start applying it to your model. So let me show you how this will work on a model. Where you would like to start is by activating some of your red colorings first. Remember, this is a highly pigmented color, so as you can see, it shows up quite a bit. What's good, if you apply it onto another area, you can exactly see how much coloring you will be applying. Start by applying it onto all the dark areas first. Tattoo covering is all about layering. You want to create as many fine different layers over each other. When your product starts drying out, just spray it with some activator. You need to ensure that there's enough time between layering for your product to actually dry properly. Otherwise, you would start lifting your underlying color. Once you start getting to coloring, you can activate some of your more foundation type coloring shades, and you can start making your own foundation shade that is maybe similar to your model's foundation coloring. Now you want to lighten all the coloring that you've applied, so that's why I'm using a little bit of the white. This is very light, feathery touches that you want to be doing. Once you've applied a few layers, you need to give it a little bit more time to dry in between layers. So if you want to, you can use a hairdryer, or you can just wave it with your hand for a little bit, just to be sure that it has completely set before carrying on with more coloring. You can use all your normal colors that you would do to create skin tone colors. So when your skin tone color is maybe not yellow enough, you just add some yellow to that. If it's not light enough, then you just add some more white to that, whichever is needed. If you do a little bit more of a dab motion, you're going to start creating different areas with different intensities. So some areas will have more coloring, some areas will have less coloring. And wherever you feel your coloring is too much, you can just opt for using your activator in its own with no coloring, and you can soften it between your colorings. You'll also see I'm using a slightly bigger brush to be able to do this. Whenever a color is too bright, use a very small amount of black, and this can help tone down any of your brightness of your colorings. So once you start getting where it is basically covered and all your dark areas are more or less gone, that is when you can start concentrating on specific areas, and you can also start doing a little bit more of stippling effects with a little bit of splatter. you want to use a brush with firm bristles, and you can test this on yourself before you start applying it to your model. Remember, we have so many different colorings of our natural skin tone showing. That's what you want to be able to have all come through. So if you look at your model's coloring, you can see some white, you can see some blue. So I think as a makeup artist, the most important thing for us is that you need to be able to see what color it is that's missing. And then you just want to soften some of that splattering. So remember, the whole idea of why we use the alcohol activated paint palette is so that this is rub resistant. If you're doing a bride or anything like that and you need to cover up a tattoo and you want it to last all day, it is long lasting, but you can even give it like a little bit of a setting spray to give it an extra cover, but as it is, it won't rub off. And that is how we use our alcohol activated paint palette. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe below so you can see our next one on bruising.